Hey guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. It's been kind of emotionally busy couple days. I'm not sure about you guys. In my family, we try, doesn't work all the time. We try to have this 24-hour rule. 24-hour rule mean if you deal with some incident that make your emotion kind of go high, and then you couldn't quite think straight, we try to give it 24 hours to let it settle before we can talk. So maybe that's why I have a broadcast today to talk about incidents yesterday. So anyway, before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today I want to talk about why do we lie. The reason I want to talk about this is actually start with an incident. So incidents, let me see if I can sum it up for you. Incident as in my family we have a rule of you have to hang out your gadget. Basically you got to hang out your gadget before you go to bed, right? So my kids, before they go to bed, before it's putting downstairs, but right now they just leave it outside their door because they get up in the morning, they want to gather their gadget before they go to school. So what ended up happening is hi. So what ended up happening is my daughter will have a gadget pile up outside her door before she go to bed. So there would be her computer, her iPad, and also her phone, right? So yesterday, if I tell anybody this, nobody would believe me, but you guys would. But anyway, on Monday night, I kind of have a sense like she might be tricking me, like that is that she is not leaving her iPad, and she will only leave her case outside. Does that make sense? The case is kind of her iPad case is fully covered, right? So when you have if you take our iPad and just leave the case there, so nobody, if we go check, we will assume she have her iPad there. So I don't know. Maybe I got a lot of tips from all the spirits around. Thank you very much. But so I'm like, no, my daughter would not do that, would she? Right? So anyway, I let my day go on, and then I went to volleyball. Right? By the time I come back, it was pretty late. It was 11 o'clock, and then my daughter is already asleep. So as I walked up the stair, I saw all her gadget was piling right outside her bedroom door, right? So I decided to give it a check. I'm like, could it be? It couldn't be. I should not second down my daughter, right? But then some reason I decide to check it, just decide to check it. And then it turned out she did leave the case outside, and then keeping her iPad inside so she can still do her messaging and things like that. So sure enough, it kind of get me a little bit irritating. Not enough furious, but kind of irritating, right? So I literally grab her iPad case so she no longer can use that as cover up, and then text her saying, okay, you are banned for sleepover. If I ever caught you do this again, I will take your phone away for a week or something like that, right? So then I tell my husband that you better talk to her about that in the morning or something like that, because my husband is a nicer guy compared to me, right? So anyway, day goes on, and then she being a teenager feel like she need to justify because all her friends can stay up late, but why can't she? Well, she really kind of stay up. But you know me, right? But if you watch my episode, you know there's the importance of sleep. Teenagers don't understand. I get it. But, we do really try to get them to sleep within 25% to 30% of the time, so they can help them mentally develop. So anyway, to put it aside, I kind of just have to have this conversation. I mean, she feel bad, but she feel need to justify, and then me try to calm myself, and then try to talk to her in a more rational way, not like furious way, right? So try to explain why I've been continuously correct them to not lying, right? I I mean, doesn't mean we don't lie, we do lie. But, what I try to tell her is when nothing's happened, there's more issue within yourself to work with instead of, try to justify yourself. Because now you are young, the consequences is not as bad. But if I continuously allow you to justify your behavior or think lying is okay, then by the time you're adulthood, then the consequence will be greater. So anyway, that's why my emotion was kind of, up there, because everybody knows raising daughters is not easy. Raising kids is not easy. So anyway, today I just want to talk about, let's say another 10 minutes later. Today I want to talk about why do we lie? Why do we lie? The reason we lie is because most of the time, before action want to happen, we believe lying, the consequence after lying is actually smaller than telling the truth. That's really what we justify for ourselves. That's why we choose to lie, right? Or very often you might come from a family background, continue to make you believe lying is no big deal. Lying is okay. Where does it start? It starts with the parents start telling the kids, I will take you to Disneyland. Sure, I will do that. And then they forget about it. Day goes on, life goes on, and then they forget about it. So kids are continuously being lied to parents. No big deal. You're busy. Come on, I'm busy. You can tell I'm busy. But the thing is, what you do not realize is you continue planting the seed into the kids' mind is saying, well, you continuously lying to me and you're never fulfilling your lie. So therefore, their brain say lying is okay. You know what I mean? So here, I just want to talk about a couple background. So of course, I didn't say everybody's like that. I'm just saying, there's a couple possibility why people lie. It could be because their background tell them lying is okay. So, it's nothing bad. Just because, my parents always say something they don't fulfill, right? In kids' mind, they justifying is you are lying to me. Since you are lying to me all the time, it's okay. Therefore, it's okay for me to lie about things. You know what I mean? So, but most of us don't have to deal with it. Most of us is actually, we kind of know how to justify it. So what do is we think. Most of us, I'm going to say most of us because that including me. Like including me, mean most of us, the reason we lie is we believe that the consequence. The consequence is less than we telling the truth. So how to justify is really depends on you. You can say, well, because I lie because then you feel better. I lie because you would do this. I lie, I didn't mean to do that, but I do that because we subconsciously think the consequence would be less, right? Is lying wrong or bad? Not necessary. For me, it's just a process of growing. It's a process of growing because, it does exist in human world, right? It doesn't exist in natural world, but it does exist in human world. So now I'm going to talk about various things. I talk about why we lie, right? Now I want to talk about the same thing I tell you guys, tell my daughters, I tell you guys. Remember a long time ago I talked about when the things that doesn't apply to nature, that means it should not exist in human. The reason we human do lie or this thing does come out is because throughout the time we believe we can hide. We can hide our intention. We believe we can hide, universe will not know. People do not know. As long as I don't say it, they don't know. Because we actually believe this exists. Therefore, slowly throughout the time, we create a system that we can say what we do not mean. But what we do not realize what impact us, it not necessarily impact others, but impact us is if we continue bury ourselves in lie, one lie after the other, just say, I point out for my daughter, right? Okay, first you lie to us about that, right? Now you get caught. Because trust me, you will always get caught. Too many of you believing, no, I'm so smart, I never got caught. Trust me, you do. When people find out, they may or may not want to confront you. That's their choice, right? But the thing is, we are living in this universe, you will always get caught, right? So what I'm saying is, okay, now you get caught. Now how do you feel? You have to either make more lie or you have to actually confront and deal with your own emotion when you are being confronted. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is when lie happen, because yesterday when I'm kind of lecturing my daughter, I said, now how do you feel? How do you feel? Like, because to justify herself, she had to make a more lie. She had to say, well, I do that because, I have to use that for homework. I do that. This is my first time. I mean, the moment I get it, I know how many times you did it. So, and then she had to say, well, I'm doing this is it. And then she had to say, my friend can stay out late. How come I cannot stay out late, right? So, etc. So what I'm saying is when she actually sit down, after writing a long email to her, try to explain my position, and then she sit down and say, okay, now tell me, how do you feel? How do you feel about this whole incident? The reason I share with you guys, I want you guys to think about this as well. When you are lying, how do you feel? How do you feel? Right? Before a lie actually want to come out of your mouth, you actually have to go through some mental struggle. You're actually dealing with, well, it justified. What I call the first stage is called justification. The justification means you justify your action and make it rightful, make it okay, right? Because only if you justify, then you can say something you don't mean, right? So the first stage, you go to justification. Then you're like, well, this way you will hurt less. This way they don't know. This way they blah, 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 blah. Whatever reason that is. Because trust me, every lie that want to come out of your mouth always have a justification to it, right? Most of us learn not to look into it. We think it's okay if we justify it. What I'm suggesting you guys is you really should really look into that, because the moment you start justifying, that means there's something you are scared of. There's something you're afraid of. There's something you don't want to deal with. There's something you don't want to face it. That's why you come up with a lie. That's why you want to justify your lie, right? So sure enough, I asked my daughter, is that not what you feel? She's like, yes. Okay. I said that. Okay, it's your test number 1 when it comes to lie. You have to really, really learn to look within yourself. Look within yourself to figure out what it is I'm so scared of. Because she could have asked. All she want to do, if you really want to use your iPad, just for homework, you could have asked, but you choose not to ask. You choose to lie. Okay, that means you must be doing something wrong that you know you shouldn't do, but you don't want us to know, right? That's why you choose to lie, right? Now you really have to look inside and figure out what that emotion is, because you are only 15. What I'm saying, you are only 15. To many of you, you're probably about this age. Trust me, deal with it now. Deal with it now. Don't wait until you're 30 or 40, because by then you're suffocating by all the lie. You don't even know which one is real, which is not wrong. This is a moment that you will come to me and see, I don't know what to do with my life. Why don't you know what to do with your life? Because you are used to be buried in lie that you don't know. You lie to others, you lie to yourself. The things that really hurt, I feel the pain, I feel sad, but I tell myself it's okay. You don't want to know? That is a lie. Because you're telling yourself it doesn't matter when it actually matters. You tell yourself it doesn't hurt when it actually hurts. So what I'm saying is, if you're my daughter's age or whatever age you are watching this broadcast, understand the emotion before you want to take action to lie, because that is the issue you need to work on. Because no universe support you to lie. Guess what? The reason you become reincarnate into this life, become a human, is actually to find out the true you, not a lie you. That means you will actually have to keep digging inside and figure out, hey, what is the real me? How do I feel? What exactly I want to do, right? You have to exercise that muscle since you were young, not until later. So too bad, sucks. Most of us, we don't have that privilege. But you know what I'm saying? Start doing now. When you have a tendency to lie, look within yourself. Look within yourself. What kind of emotion you're dealing with, and then deal with it. Deal with it, because the more you deal with it, the more you're in sync with who you are. The more you know, this is actually how I feel. Just like what I tell my daughter is, trust me, if you lie, you will always get caught. Always. I don't even want to explain why, but it's always, right? Especially in the generation we are right now. Trust me, you will always get caught. And then another thing you have to know about lying is the consequence. No matter how you justify, the consequence will always be greater than you telling the truth. Because you tell the truth, yeah, it might hurt, but people at the end will appreciate you telling me the truth. While you are lying, you realize you have to make one more lie to keep up to your lying, right? the consequence is always worse. Now we're talking about emotion behind that. Why? Because you feel your justification. Now, of course, there are situations we cannot help. I did lie. What should I do? Oops. It just come out of my mouth. I don't know. I never worked out that muscle, and then you just come out of my mouth. What should I do? You actually catch yourself lying. There's a stage 2. Stage 2 problem when it comes to lying that you actually have to deal with. Sure, you miss one chance, you got second chance. The universe is kind enough, they always give you second chance. What a second chance is when the situation you did lie, and then, oops, I did lie. And then I might go through a period of time that I think I'm smart enough to get away. You know what? I might actually be able to get away with this. You actually tell yourself that. But trust me, universe will always make sure you get caught. Why? Because there's a lesson behind this whole thing. It's actually help you to confront who you are and what it is that you are, and then find out the real you, right? So now let's say you get caught. You got caught. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Now let's talk about the emotion behind you being caught. Right? You did something wrong that you know you shouldn't do, or you say something that you know you shouldn't say, and then now you got caught. That was a lie. That was a lie. You will realize the moment that you've been caught, you will deal with a shame. Most of us dealing with a shame because I feel so ashamed. I couldn't believe it, but I don't want to admit that because most of us don't want to admit we lie, right? So what do? We getting angry. We're getting frustrated. We start justify our action. We start, feel the need to, even manipulate them. Say, no, you're wrong, I'm the right one. Because we know those are the emotion, once again, is something you have to deal with, because if you allow yourself to bury in this kind of emotion, I feel ashamed. Anyway, I telling my daughter is the best way to do is own up to it. Own up to your mistake and say, I'm sorry I did that. I did something I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. Guy, seriously, those two things sounds very simple for you guys. One, before I want to lie, I evaluate my action. It's same as every episode I've done before. Before you want to say something, evaluate. Does this speak me? Is this me? Is this who I am? Do I want people to treat me this way? I get it. It's a lot of work to do. But once you start doing that, you realize it applies everywhere in your life. It just comes so natural, right? So before you lie, you do that. The reason I ask you to do that is it actually brings you back to evaluate who you are. Is this who I want to be? Is that how I want to be treated? Because you guys all talking about meeting the right guy, being the right person. You want the right job. You want the right dream. How can you make that happen if you continue making every wrong thing happen to you guys? It won't happen. So really the best way to do is evaluate. Why do we lie? We couldn't help. Society tell us lying is okay. Society tell us if we lie, it may make other people feel better. We even have a word for it. We call white lie. We call white lie, right? Lie with good intention. Really, guys, apply one word. The universe is not gonna, universe don't really lie. The intention cannot hide. I cannot lie to you. A lion want to kill you, they want to kill you. They say, you know what, let's lie to them. No, I really don't want to kill you. I really don't want to eat you, right? And you're really going to believe them. No, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't work that way. So now you're like, okay, I'm going to lie again. What should I do? I should really evaluate myself and try to figure out what it is I'm so scared of. What it is that made me feel so scared to tell the truth? What it is that made me so afraid to be able to be who I am? So look into that before you lie. If somehow, some way you couldn't make that happen, you did lie, and then you do get caught, right? Even you don't get caught, trust me, your emotion is going upside down. Deal with that too. Deal with that. If you don't get caught, come forward, come clean to yourself, because universe know you're working within yourself. You try to figure out, I did something I shouldn't have. I really should just come straight forward and then be the person I believe I will be. You know what I mean? So if you do get caught, another big lesson really, I'm talking about those two things, but it really will help you guys grow so much, is own up to your mistake. Remember a long time ago we talked about accountability. Accountability is not only own up something good that you did, it also own up something bad that you did. Because only when you can own up that. So that's why I tell my daughter, a lot of people cannot even do this till this very last day. So just be grateful you are 15 right now. Consequences, maybe just one sleepover. You don't got to sleep over once. As you become adult, the consequence will be harder and harsher. So what you want to do is own up to your mistake, because now it sounds so difficult to do, but trust me, it will become your muscle when you become an adult. Why? Because now I have that courage. I'm brave enough to own up to my mistake. If you can own up to your mistake, trust me, you can almost just make anything happen, because you actually, the moment you own up to your mistake, you learn from it. You actually learn from it. You're like, you know what, that feeling really sucks. I really don't want to do that again. So what do? It become a mental note in your head. Don't do that again, because I don't like that feeling. You know what I mean? So anyway, what I'm saying is, why do we lie? Why do we couldn't help? Society teaches us so. Many of us probably go through the childhood and things like that. We continue being lied to, right? But I really want to sum it up right now, because otherwise I talk forever. I obviously still have some emotion within myself. But anyway, what I really want to do is, let me sum it up. We come to this slide to find who we really are. Who we really are. You cannot find who you really are, or you cannot meet that Mr. Right. You cannot fulfill your dream if you continue throwing the lie over lie and over lie on top of yourself. When you were young, you may not feel the pain. Trust me, you don't. You probably don't. Because when I was a kid, I don't feel the pain either. But as you get older, you will realize how you feel suffocating. You feel suffocating, buried under lies. Really. Because you no longer can tell which one is real, which is not real. You know what I mean? So when I was young, I hate to be lied to. I don't understand why can't you just tell me the truth? If you don't love me, tell me you don't love me. At least I can move on, right? If you don't like it, just say you don't like it. Why pretend that you like it? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I can give example. Then people try to tell me, no, that's, we try to make other people feel better. Really, people don't feel better that way, right? Only when you are very authentic, only when you are real and true to yourself, you're then able to attract the right person in your life. You're then able to attract the right job in your life. You're then able to attract the right friendship in your life. Because this is who I am. I have nothing to hide. The universe, everything, nature in the universe don't go out and lie about things. They don't. They feel this, They're happy, they're happy. They are upset, they're upset. They look like they want to eat you. Okay, that's very obvious as well. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, we are part of the universe. We are part of nature. Why being something that we are not? So I did explain why do we lie. But what I'm saying is, guys, I'm not here to tell you to go lecture every other people say you should not lie to me. You should not lie to me because this blah, 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 blah. As every episode I did, I don't really give a shit what other people say. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse my language. I don't really care what other people say or do. Not so much. But what I'm saying is, for many of you who actually spend time to watch this episode, understand there are chance to work within yourself. There is exercise you can work within yourself. When you do want to lie again, think behind it. Instead of justify it, think about, why do I choose to lie? Why? There must be something you're afraid of. There must be. What that things that you're afraid of is exactly probably the weakness you need to work on, or probably something that you need to overcome. Trust me, you come to this life to overcome that, not to enhance that. So work that. Work that. Seriously, that will give you tons of muscle as a soul. If somehow, some way, you have no choice, oops, I lie. What should I do? You can always have a chance to make up to it. Make up to it. Because trust me, own up to your mistake. Own up to your mistake. It requires bigger courage. It requires greater muscle for this soul. You know what I mean? So anyway, just a little thought to share with you guys. Again, I feel like I've been ranting forever. So parenting, I'm pretty sure everybody are like me. You can lecture forever. So anyway, just want to wrap this up. Couple chance, a lot of people want to ask me. What I'm saying is, a lot of soul got buried as time goes on. A lot of soul got buried in lie. And eventually they forget. They don't know who they are. They don't know where their future should go. What I'm saying is, if you have a chance to work within yourself, don't be one of them. You. If you ever caught yourself want to lie, or did lie, or things like that, there's a lot of exercise I talk about already. Work it. Don't make yourself become a soul that's so buried in lie, like you no longer know how you feel, what you want, or things like that. You have a chance to work within yourself. So okay, sorry. If you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I see you guys next time. Bye-bye.